Project 95, back at it. There's just nothing like busting out an old analog tape. I I've been feeling this so hard this whole tour. It's mostly nostalgia. Most of them sound like absolute shit, but it that's the best part about it, right? This was actually recorded by my buddy Brandon. I mentioned him a couple times. He was kind of out west. He was Kevin's buddy from back east, and I had anticipated maybe running into Cooney here in Maine. But as you can see from my notes there, I did run into Brandon. I found Brandon and Tom. I do not remember who Tom is. My bad. But Brandon taped this. I think he had Cooney's rig. So these actually sound nice. So yeah, it says at the top of the tape, like Brandon setting up tape. So that was kind of cool to run into a West Coast buddy back east. He's actually from Boston. So Maine is far. Like I told you, I stayed at Lemoyne after the Albany show. So I was driving from Syracuse area to Maine, and it's just far. And Portland's like not very far. I learned that this day, right, driving up to Portland, and Portland's not even the worst of it. My daughter played basketball in college, and they used to have to go to Maine every year. But Maine is in like Orono, I think is the name of the city for some reason. And it's like a 9-hour trip through Maine to get there. So like you drive from Jersey up to the Maine border, and then you're like, we're in Maine. It's like a 13-hour trip from Jersey to the gym in Orono at the University of Maine. And we would famously learn how far Maine is at the Great Went, right? Limestone. That's next level. So I commented in the initial post about how I was thinking this today, like, how did I know distances? Right? Like, all I had was a map. I didn't get trip ticks or anything, so there was no readout of like, here's how far Portland is from Boston. So I think I just was like, okay, Boston's about 4, and like it looks like Portland's probably a couple more hours from there, so I'll leave 30 hours early. Like I'll just leave super early. So that this was, again, this is the only leg of December tour, Northeast tour, where I had to sleep in the car because I had been going either home or Syracuse. Like I had people all over the place to stay with, and tonight would be the first night where I had to stay in my car. And I got to give props to Fisher. Fisher lent me his North Face 0 degree sleeping bag. And it came in handy. Some of the coldest nights I can ever remember were on this tour. Actually, tomorrow night after the Providence show. That was fucking cold. And I slept like just a drunk bear, just out in the back of the old sled. Couldn't have done that without Fisher's sleeping bag. I wish I still had that, but I gave it back to him. That would have been a nice keepsake from the tour. Anyway, this show, it's so fun. Like this, like I would point people to this show to really, if they really want to understand what I love about Phish, right? Forget about the music. We know the music is awesome, right? What separates them from everybody else? It's been a theme throughout this whole Project 95 thing. Is like, I love the silliness. It's just, there's no, I shouldn't say no other band. I guess Primus is kind of like that, but they're more weird than silly. Obviously, comedy bands are like that, like Tenacious D or Lonely Island or whatever. But like musicians at this caliber that just don't take themselves too seriously, that are literally enjoying every minute of it, and they're trolling the audience, they're interacting with the audience, they're just it's something to behold. I think they've gotten away from it. I talked about this too. I guess when you get old, you do that. But tonight had so much stuff like that. Stage banter. Just, I miss it so much. So much so that I remember, I think I wrote it in my notebook during the 23 MSG summer run, when they did the 7 shows over the course of like that week or something. We went to the first weekend, and I was having this conversation with the Jam Boys, and I'm like, where is it? Like, bring it back. It's the stage banter. Trey and Mike talking to the audience, and Paige comments, like that kind of stuff. And they did it that night. I remember being like psyched, like writing it down with exclamation points. Like, they busted out stage banter. Sorry, this Reba is just screaming in my ear right now. I haven't heard this in probably 20 years. So they come out with Mife. They do Ha Ha Ha, which is kind of a silly song. They do a blistering Stash. They dedicate Prince Caspian to Elvis. Then they do this Reba that it just ended. It's on fire. Then they go into this whole Doglog thing. Now, they had been sound checking Doglog the whole tour. Oh, Trey's no whistle ending. Trey's talking about it right now. Every sound check, we play Doglog. So we're going to do an album of Doglogs. Yeah. So then he did some audience participation stuff, like the cheesecake thing from Big Cypress. That's what he was trying to do. So like they played a little snippet of Doglog and then cued everyone to just boo, right? You suck. But basically this idea, which is an awesome idea, by the way, which they never did. If I ever see Trey again or get a chance to talk to him, I will 100% bring up this Doglog album that never happened. I'll be like, what happened to the Doglog album you you glossed on 12/11/95 was that it clearly was just like a joke. So Trey does this whole explanation, and they do this dog log, everybody boos. Then they play llama. Then they just drop a llama. Then they do another one, another dog log, where everybody just like screams like a murderous sort of, horror movie scream at the top of their lungs. And this it looks like it got 5 exclamation points. Trey says, all right, since you helped us out, we're going to return the favor. And they drop Tube. Now, if you remember earlier videos, Tube was rumored to be hung up. And then they played it at Fort Worth. And everybody lost their shit. But I don't think it has played again. Right? So they're still kind of flirting with it. And they play this Tube. Now, these aren't the post 90, the 97, 98 tubes with the funky, the extended funky jam section, but still, like, it's a cool little song. They do Tube McGrupp out of that. Out of all that, right? Returning the favor was Tube McGrupp. McGrupp looks like it got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like it got 3 exclamation points. Julius and Cavern round out the first set, but that Julius, some of these Juliuses have been really crispy. The one from Niagara Falls a few nights ago was a heater. But I just like that. There's just the whole thing. Like, Reba, my favorite song of all time. Trey talking about this dog log album that literally has never been mentioned since. I've never heard anybody talk about it ever since. Like, it wasn't like it was this rumor swirling and people were talking about it and it gained some traction and then they recorded half of it, but they decided none of that. Just this night only. So all that, and this llama, just spitting out a llama, more of the dog log banter and shenanigans, returning the favor to McGrupp, Julius Cavern to close out 1. And I'm just like, yes, please, more of that. So this whole, especially these last few nights, getting me just fired up about stage banter. I want it back, and I need it. I need that in Fishman songs. I know Fishman songs are usually brutal, but it's what I want. Okay. You can see my notes there. I lied 3 days ago. That was about screamers. But what would people be screaming at in this? There's nothing quiet. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. So they come out second set. Curtain. Bowie. 3 exclamation points on Bowie. The exclamation points are starting to drop, right? I can see it just starting to develop. These last few nights, because Albany got a bunch too. So Bowie got 3 in the second set. Hood got 3. Funky Bitch. Well, I'll get to that. So Curtin, Bowie, Bowie had this crazy intro. I feel like in '95 they were really um, just extending the like Phish would sit on that and Trey would, you know, vamp and do all this, you know, noise, I guess, for lack of a better term, and they'd kind of just meander a little bit in these in the same vein as the Lassie 1228 94 29, the Providence one, where they do that. It's like that. Like a lot of the Bowies have had that kind of intro. This one had a crazy intro, um, according to 22-year-old me. Then a Mango song, and then I wrote. This is a looks like my tape is ending. Don't you love tapes? Yeah, too. So this is a this is a note that I would use at times in the future quite a bit. Something's going on. I wrote after between Mango and Fog That Surrounds, which is not Fog That Surrounds anymore. Hasn't been for weeks. Something's going on. Something's afoot at the Circle K. I don't know what it was. That usually means, yeah, you can feel it in the room. Like they're gonna do something's gonna happen, and I just nobody knows what it is, which is another great feeling that Phish has been cultivating for their entire careers. Something's going on. Harry Hood. There must have been some Elvis connection in Portland. You know what? This is the deepest depths of my memory. This may have been Cumberland County may have been the last place that Elvis ever performed live. I think so. Because as I mentioned, they dedicated Prince Caspian to Elvis in the first set. After this Hood, they do Suspicious Minds. Right? So I think it was. You have to check me on that. I will also check me when I'm done tape recording this. Then, all that, Warren Haynes. I suppose it's the equivalent of D-Trucks coming out and playing with them now. Is Warren Haynes in 95 comes out for Funky Bitch 5 X points 5, and then While My Guitar Gently Weeps in the encore. So he came out for the Funky Bitch closer, shredded that, then went back and they're like, you want to do the encore? Sure. While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Boom. That's a Phish show. That's all I'm saying. So now, this night when I left, next night is Providence. Not that far. I ended up driving most of the way after the show, and I got to just outside Providence, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I guess I better... Because I didn't want to go into Providence. You know, I wanted to get a rest stop, you know, on the outskirts. Which I did, and then I zipped up Fisher's North Face bag and dreamt of stage banter um, all night. So I'll see you guys tomorrow in Providence, and then there's a day off. So looking forward to it.